I wonder about people like
It's too much.
Fonzworth Bentley or, your Justin Biebers, your Ushers and stuff like that. Not because I think they're necessarily involved in these parties or whatever. But they may have seen, cursory stuff like if you abuse somebody in front of them, they would see that.
But
Mhm.
Um,
also, I mean, I think Usher and Justin Bieber were also victims,
well,
which is
but
something that
Bieber says he wasn't. I'm not saying
I,
I don't want to tell. I
no,
don't
I
want to
think
tell.
they were.
Well, if someone
You
say
don't
they
have
not,
you
I
don't
don't
have
want to
a
be like
party.
you are.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
So I just want to say, man, I've been seeing all the love and support, and I just want to say thank you so much, man. Um, People have been hitting me up the past week, just checking in, and even today, and it really means a lot to me, man. You guys are the best. I love y'all. Um, this is a stressful situation. I'm glad it's behind me, and yeah, I love y'all, man.
Okay, that's the voice of Kid Cudi, who's an actor more than he is a rapper. People want to call him a rapper. A lot of folk were saying he snitched. He never told on till today, till yesterday, last week, or whatever this week. So it wasn't like he was out there telling, but people knew. Eminem has a whole song,
Mhm.
Bad One, where he talks about Puffy. In it, he says blowing up like Kid Cudi's car. They
Mhm.
apparently people knew that Diddy had done this. This was not a
Mm.
secret. Roger Morrow is here, the black guy who tips, and we're graced by the presence of Candace Kelly. She's a legal correspondent, talking about the Puff Daddy trial, the P Diddy trial, Sean Combs. Um, the snitch thing. What else was revelatory
You
about
know,
Cuddy?
what else was revelatory was just kind of his disposition about it, that, hey, he did blow up my Porsche, but I'm really going to make good with it. And of course, he got across on the stand that he does not believe that Sean Diddy Combs did not have anything to do with it. And he did have a police report. There's a police report on record. But he also said, hey, on cross, when they tried to trip him up, they were trying to make it seem like, wasn't Cassie kind of tricking you though? Because you tell us that she said she wasn't dating Sean, but she actually was. Don't you feel like she kind of played you? And he said, well, yeah, I did feel kind of played. I mean, whatever, I guess that shows a little bit on Cassie's disposition, and maybe she was trying to play them and get something out of it. But at the end of the day, there was a Molotov cocktail in his Porsche. I mean, they used that in Ukraine and Russia. That's like one of their biggest weapons. It is not a small thing, and neither is
Mm.
a Porsche.
Yeah, I think also like in that, like I can see how he would have thought that at the time. Maybe he still thinks that today, but if you go back and you find all this like under the tip of that iceberg is this alleged like abusive relationship, how can someone ever truly move on and be dating other people if someone is violating their boundaries? So okay, I see you out with this new guy, I'm deciding you're not single. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
You're
I've been,
staying.
yeah, you can't date someone else. Because if it was as simple as just to like I busted you cheating on me, why am I burning the other guy's car? Why am I kidnapping his assistant? Why am I breaking into his house? That it wouldn't even need to be all that for me to just tell you, hey, you're cheating on me and I caught you. Stop. It's kind of a stretch.
Yeah, it is. It's a stretch, and it's so extreme that when
Yeah.
you think about, was she forced? I think there was just an overall layer of, you are not safe, which translated into being forced, and the videos that you're holding over my head. I would say that that would equal to coercion, even now,
Yeah.
this early in the game. And the prosecution has to prove that just once she was
Right.
coerced into this situation of sex trafficking or
Mhm.
prostitution across state lines, just one time. I really think the jury can come up with that. I'm sorry. I think we can already see that. The number of people that testified about the way she was getting beat, internationally getting beat, at dinner tables getting beat, in cars getting beat. I mean, so many times that coercion seemed to be all over like a surrounding force.
Yeah, there were like two details I noticed. One was they put all the pictures of the sex workers out in the
Yes.
public.
I saw that.
Yeah, well, do you know like why they did that? And then the second thing is some of the witnesses were like, oh, he beat her in front of Usher and this person. Is there a chance they call like an Usher to the stand for something like that?
You know what? There is a small chance. Why? Because you want to get anybody as a prosecutorial team that can corroborate what Cassie has said, because that's where we started in this case. Now we're just looking at anybody who can corroborate. And so when we talk about Usher and Neo being at a table with other people from Bad Boy, and she said that she was punched at a table. So did Don Richard, that Sean just punched Cassie at a table. She kind of billed over a little bit and nobody said anything. So that's where that comes in, just to show the pattern of abuse. Again, we're not trying to prove whether or not there was domestic violence. That's a given. We're proving, did she feel like she was coerced into staying? So you add all of things up and it starts building. I think the reason why they kind of showed all of I think it was about 10 people who were these male escorts, was just really to kind of get people's attention, number one. Number two, show a pattern that these 10 men, because some of them were not transported over state lines, but some of them were. But it just gives the public a little bit of a taste of what type of a person we are looking at. And that court of public opinion is something that they want to win into. Because again, even the Punisher that they brought in, who took the stand, he was from Harlem. So this wasn't a federal offense. But it was just to show that this is what Sean Combs does all the time. This is how he gets down.
Not a taste, Candace, not a taste. Just knowing from some of the details. I was like, okay.
Know.
Let me move on. Eminem has a song called "Bad One," and let me read some of the lyrics before you play it. He talks about Tyson and I bodied him twice, and already that little mother effer back throwing subs like a food fight at the deli, and that's why y'all don't care about that. Where's the one where he's talking about? Okay, all right, Smith, just play it.
So they get him, got him up in arms like monkey bars. The fucking bomb with the puffy arm. I'm blowing up the Kid Cudi's car in front of his house where all his buddies are.
That they want the old me till they get him. Got him up in arms like monkey bars. The effing bomb word to Puffy. I'm blowing up like Kid Cudi's car. What? In front of his house where all his buddies are. Just another day at the office, but it seems like Marsha's effing job is done. Oh my goodness.
He has another set of bars on the song called Fuel, where he's like, he's like something, I'm kind of like a RAPER. Oh, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? And I was like, oh, like, Eminem been talking shit for a minute.
Not just that, but I feel like what Kansas is talking about, people have seen and heard and been in these spaces, and it's outrageous, the silence. You know, the fact that nobody, J-Lo, people are like, where's J-Lo? Where's Farnsworth Bentley? You know he's seen something.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, you're going to have to get in line 2 days ahead for that if you want to see if he's ever called. Oh, my goodness.
Why wouldn't he be called? He was there.
Oh, he potentially could. And Gene Deals, while I saw him one day, he was going to lunch. He said he was not going to testify, but I don't know. He definitely was there.
Gene Deal, the bodyguard.
The bodyguard.
I have tapes on it. Oh my goodness.
I wonder about people like Farnsworth Bentley, or your Justin Biebers, your Ushers and stuff like that. Not because I think they're necessarily involved in these parties or whatever. But they may have seen, cursory stuff, like if you abuse somebody in front of them, they would see that.
I think Usher and Justin Bieber were also victims,
which
is something that
Bieber says he wasn't. I'm not saying I don't want to tell.
I think they were.
Well, if someone
You
say
don't
they
have
not,
you
I
don't
don't
have
want to be
a
like,
party.
you are.
No, I'm saying that there are enough video evidence, like having children, basically, that you're plying with alcohol and whatever. Like Usher's like, I'm too young to be at this club. Why do you have me at this club? Like, there's video of Usher saying, like, I'm at this club. I'm 14. Why am I here?
Right,
Yeah.
Poor
right.
Justin Bieber
Well,
looked like something
so
happened to him.
so to
Allegedly, looked
well,
like something happened to him.
the two things I want to say about that though. One, like directly, if they're saying they're not, then as far as I know, I'm gonna take their word for it. And then two, they're not in these allegations. Like other people are not, like Cassie's not like, and then he also was doing stuff to Justin Bieber and Usher or whatever. And then I guess I have three things. And then the third thing is triangulation. Like a lot of times abusers triangulate, so they have certain people they don't do stuff to
Ever.
just
Right.
to
That's true.
have that image of like, if I was this type of person, I would have been doing it to these people, and it's like, well, they say they didn't, so I must be innocent. This other person must be lying because I never did those things to these other people. So that's why I'm cautious about that.
Okay, I see your
Although I
point.
would be interested to see, like, if things happened in front of them, I'd be interested to see if the prosecution would want to, at least talk to them as witnesses or something.
Yeah,
be
and
interesting.
once they get that federal subpoena, you can't say no.
Right.
They will come and get you. So we will, I want to hear from the security guards, all the security at all this time. Sean Combs is not driving to Kid Cudi's house. A driver is. I need to hear from the drivers. I need to hear from the security guards. I need to hear from all those people that were around him, because they all have gotten some type of immunity or deal, of course, like everybody else, which is why this is USA versus Sean, period. Everybody else got their deal together, but they're going to have a lot of good information. Security guards have been listed all along the way by various witnesses for the past couple of weeks.
How much longer do you think we have to go in this trial, like with them, like at the pace they're going? Because I heard you kind of allude to it being slow or they're taking their time. How much more time do you think we have to go? And are just strategy wise, do you think these are the quote unquote juiciest witnesses we're getting now, or do you think because I think salaciously, like obviously the name Kid Cudi is a big name, but if a bodyguard whose name we don't really know and isn't a celebrity was there for all of it, their testimony will probably be much more relevant legally than anything that TMZ would want to cover. You know what I mean? Like it would actually be, it's not Kid Cudi saying it, but this is a guy who was actually there.
Exactly. I think that you're right. First of all, it will go on about 3 to 4 weeks. I could see it going just 3. And second of all, you're right. We may not know these bodyguards' names. I mean, you do if you look them up,
right?
But like you said, they've been there for 10 years and know every single thing. They will be very, very important, and they will talk. They should talk. They have the subpoena, and so many other people have put them there. So that's what's going to be really important. But the closing argument is going to be exceptional. It's kind of like, at the end of the movie, The Sixth Sense, it was like, oh, he was dead the whole time. That's what it's going to be like. We're hearing all these little pieces, but when we get to those closing arguments, I assure you, the prosecution is not, bringing all these people on to talk about, 2 beatings here, 3 beatings here. They are going to close this out with a bang. They're going to connect those dots, and they are doing really, really well. Some holes, yes, but if you give me a sailboat that has a little hole and can still move, I'll probably get on. And I think that this, I think this is sailing pretty well. I'm not sure what the defense can do at this point, but we will see for sure.
I was in court when Puffy had a gun, and there were witnesses and Shine, and I sat there with Benjamin, what's his name? Brofman and Johnny Cochran. I actually rode up the elevator with Johnny Cochran, Ben Brofman, and Puffy in the elevator, and I was like, wow, they're all very short, because I'm 5'10". They are very short. I was surprised that everybody was short. I was like, I'm looking at the top of these people's heads. This is beautiful. Yeah, but
look, definitely a different case, right? I mean, remember at that time he was able. First of all, he wasn't behind bars. But in between, like when there were breaks, we'd be in the halls with Sean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was in the courthouse, and getting hemmed up by his people or whatever, because I was writing my columns, and I dare you to come up in my face. We going, yeah, 3. All right, let's go. But the evidence was there that he was guilty. And when he got found not guilty, I said, oh, Shine took this thing for this. I was really shocked. So I'm not, Candace and Roderick, convinced that he won't walk.
I will say this. Yeah. I will say this. There are 5 counts. One of the counts is that he took somebody across state lines for the purposes of sex and paid for it. I'm sorry they have that count. In fact, I think the defense knows, and they're giving that away because you can get just up to 10 years. There's no minimum. So he definitely did. We've heard from too many escorts.
Okay. So you're saying he's going to get at least 1 count. But would that be jail time? That 1 count, can it be time served?
Time served.
Yep, exactly. It could be jail time, against which time served can happen, and then you subtract that, and then you really only serve like 2/3 of a federal punishment in jail time. So yeah, it may not be that much, but they definitely have him on that 1. There ain't no way about that.
All right. Well, let's keep it going. It's going to go on for another week, I'm sure, at least.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay. All right. So we'll see you back in these streets,
yes,
Candace.
Indeed, ma'am. All right.
Candace Kelly, follow her. Kelly with an E, Kelley. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will